3 left, guys, already. We're not even at the hour and a half mark yet, and we only got 3 left. Krasse. That's krasse. Alright, the girl with the made-up disease. Okay. Is it made up? Like she made it up and now it became real? Euclid. Special containment procedures. SCP-2017 is to be kept in a standard humanoid containment cell furnished with a bed, a set of drawers, and a bookshelf with age-appropriate books. A pediatrician and a child psychologist specializing in early onset psychosis and anxiety disorders are to be assigned to SCP-217 at all times. Except when isolated in containment or during a testing scenario, SCP-217's skin is to be completely covered at all times, and all personnel handling SCP-217 are advised to wear full body protective suits. Description: SCP-217 is an African-American human female about 7 years old, formerly named. It is underweight compared to non-anomalous children, displays symptoms of anemia such as gray pallor and cold extremities, and is unusually shy and withdrawn. I think it's still fucked that like sometimes when an SCP is human, that the Foundation just calls them it. Especially when it's a child. You feel like the Foundation would at least, you know, be kind enough to call the child she, her, you know? But no, it. It's an it. It's crazy. Its anomalous effect manifests when a human subject makes unprotected skin contact with SCP-217. The subject experiences a condition tentatively called sudden onset dissociation disorder, SODD, okay, or SCP-217 triggered derealization disorder. The affected subject recognizes itself as an entity but perceives the external world as foreign and nonsensical. SCP-217 triggered dissociation disorder will cause subject to have difficulty understanding or internalizing even the most basic facets of human behavior. Subject in the late stages of STDD will eventually perceive the entire physical world as lacking or sense. In addition, affected subjects uniformly speak of a place or plane of existence. They claim possesses the Speak of a place or plane of existence they claim possesses the consistency the physical world lacks. Subjects eventually descend into complete self-neglect before experiencing heart failure and a longer than normal period of post-mortem brain activity. Brain death will often be attended with other anomalous phenomena. Worth noting is the fact that other than SCP-217's taciturn nature, it is psychologically healthy and does not suffer from any type of dissociative disorder, anomalous or otherwise. Document A. D3500 was exposed to SCP-2017 on the 1st, 3rd. Subject displayed literally talent above the general D-class population. Researchers predicted that subject would shed light on the more subtle, abstract effects of SCP-2017 induced dissociation through his personal writings. Okay, here we go. Touch the child and let's see what happens. Day 1. My field of vision is oddly limited. It reminds me of a panoramic movie screen. The ones that they show you nature documentaries on. These appendages in my view screen, can I believe they are mine? They put the words, I think, under those paper. I ordered them, but the hands are not me. My face feels hollow. It feels like a thin coat of paint that touches the world and behind it. Nothing. Is my face me? I can't see it. It doesn't exist. I have no face. Day 2. Nothing here makes any sense. These people in coats run performing rituals with all the effortless non-thought of lemmings jumping off a cliff. I have far-off vision of an avuncular-sounding male voice narrating the coding dance of small, scurrying things. I wonder what the animals think of their strangely structured habits. Day 3. It's worse than what I thought. They've got this huge, invisible edifice of rickety, anarchic patchwork rules and more and unwritten thou shalt nots. What architect built this? I think they did. They're part of it and build it, but the groundwork was laid forever ago. Why? Who the fuck is in charge around here anyway? Day 4. This isn't how it's supposed to be. There isn't a single part of this monolith that makes any goddamn sense. Are all of them in on it? Can they be said to be in on it? Is a bee in on building a hive? Day 5. I have no body. If you seen works of scaffolding to move me. I, myself, in the strange plane. It takes in, it excretes, but none of it is me. It's an avatar, in the land of chaos. I'm not from here. There's been some sort of huge mistake. Day 6. Somewhere else. I have seen it in my dreams. Can't touch it with the me that is me and not the projection they call my body. It vibrates with the sort of fractal perfection I yearn for. It is crystalline, cold, clean. Perfect. The order of things is woven tight into its fabric. It's not the fraying net that binds things together here. That, somewhere else, is my home. By day 7, subject refused to move or eat. Subject requests a recorder to continue his notes. Day 7 transcript. I am haunted by visions of hands that touched other hands, faces, bodies that were beings like myself. The visions have an odd tint to them, but not like a tint. They operate with dream logic, where bizarre and confusing things happen and are accepted as perfectly normal. The faces in the visions were people, not faces. Now I do not see people, but bodies. And they aren't right. On day 7, D3500's heart and respiratory activity completely ceased. His brain continued to remain active for an inexplicable 3 hours and 20 minutes. At this time, subject underwent brain death and vanished. Subject caught suddenly transmuted into a large, perfectly rectangular prism with a reflective index of 0. Mass of the object was determined to be the exact mass of the card plus the mass of the subject's corpse, and testing indicates that the mass is indivisible and not composed of any atoms. Atom classified as SCP. SCP-2017 has proven uncooperative with Foundation researchers and had not adjusted to containment. Most questions posed to SCP-2017 are met with blank silence, quiet, crying, or requests to be reunited with its parents. SCP-2017's mother and father, Derek and Abigail of California, are the only 2 people known to the Foundation to have made physical contact with SCP-2017 and not suffer its anomalous effects. Medical records of the couple show that Abigail was diagnosed with depersonalization disorder in the early college years, was successfully treated and has not had a relapse in over 10 years. Derek displayed many commonly recognized risk factors of dissociative disorders and received psychiatric treatment similar to that recommended for dissociative disorders while never actually having a dissociative episode. Early childhood abuse, prior hallucinogen use, depression, cognitive behavioral therapy, and a year-long regimen of antidepressants. SCP-2017's mother and father were aware of SCP-2017's properties and attempted to conceal them from notice from a group such as the Foundation. Wild. Yeah, no, like, I hope the Foundation is not going to, like, be as cruel as to, like, amnesticize the parents. Because I always feel like that's, like, of course at the end the parents don't remember having a child, but that feels always so awful when they just have to, like, oh yeah, your child's, like, is an SCP or died because of an SCP, so we have to anesthetize you. You don't remember having a child. That's always, like, really messed up for me. Interviewed SCP-2017. Interviewer Dr. Alexis Baxter. Forward, Dr. Baxter is one of the few Foundation personnel SCP-2017 will respond to. It is suspected this is the case because Dr. Baxter bears a striking resemblance to 2017's mother. That makes sense. Hello, SCP-2017. I'm glad I get to talk to you today. Hi, Doctor. I really wish you'd call me. I'm sorry, SCP-2017, but we've been over this before and we can't do that. Why? Well, lots of people here are named. Why, there's a doctor in this very division named. We don't want to get mixed up, do we? You deserve to have your very own name that nobody else has. Like a nickname? Exactly. Now, I'd like you to tell me about what life was like before you came here. Mommy and Daddy told everyone I was sick, and if they touched me, I'd die. But that wasn't true. If people touched me, they acted funny. Do you know what happened to them after they acted funny for a while? Mommy said not to worry about it. It must have been hard with just your mom and daddy all the time. Shakes head. Really? Mom and Daddy would take me to the zoo and beach and stuff. They covered me up so people wouldn't touch me. Do you remember how you came to be here? I was playing in a cul-de-sac with Jenny and Richie when the Alton boy hit me with his car. I guess like one of those like mini cars like the kids used to have. Mommy rode in the ambulance with me. Oh, okay, actually, no, never mind. It's an actual. She was glad that we were there, but she worried someone else would touch me. I think that's what happened at the hospital. Then I was here. Pauses. Can I ask you a question? Anything. I will answer if I can. Pinky, swear you'll be honest. Dr. Baxter reaches across the table and grasps SB-2117's gloved pinky in a gloved pinky. Okay, they both have gloved pinky. Absolutely. Am I here because I was bad? Absolutely not. You're here so we can protect others from getting sick and protect you from others that might want to hurt you. We're doctors, and we study these sorts of things so we understand what's happening and can help you. Then why can't I see Mommy and Daddy? Because it's still very dangerous. There are bad people out there that might hurt you or use you to do bad things because you're different. Worse, they might do that to your parents. When we can understand what's going on a bit more clearly, maybe that can change. I guess. Now, I'd like to talk to you about something you said the other day. About the other place? Yes. I see it when I dream, and sometimes when I'm awake. It's different there. Everything is all lines and stuff, and things are simpler than they are here. No rules about when to go to bed, or what to eat, or what to say, or to grown-ups. I don't think there are any rules there at all. Do you think this place is real? Daddy said it was just a dream and dreams aren't real. But if it's not real, what about all the people there? Well, sometimes people see things that aren't... Wait, what people? They aren't really people, or maybe they are, but they're not like us. They're really different. They're scary. I don't like them. I feel cold every time they pass through me. They interact with you. They what? You can touch them. Only when I see the other place and I'm not dreaming. That's very interesting. This is the very first time you told us this. When is that? When someone touches me. Closing statement. That's scary. Which means that like every time they made an experiment with her, she seen the other place and these weird creatures coming up to her. Closing statement. Interview was terminated when Dr. Baxter expressed signs of surprise and alarm. As this was Dr. Baxter's first unmentored interview with an anomaly, she was given a verbal reprimand before being allowed to contact SB-2017 again. Oh no, come on. Don't do that. She's the only one that this little girl will talk to. In light of SB-2017's comments during this interview, we took readings of subject's brain activity before and after contact with SB-2017. The results show a marked distinction from all recorded human brain waves, normal and abnormal. I submit the hypothesis that subjects who come into physical contact with SB-2017 do not suffer dissociative symptoms, but are actually overwritten by a foreign entity from this other place. As we are receiving possibly hostile entities from an undisclosed location, I recommend that exposure testing with SB-2017 be suspended. Dr. Alexis Baxter. So, she actually told the O5 that this might be the case, and O5 of course requests denied. However, testing to support or debunk Dr. Baxter's hypothesis is recommended at this time. Child abuse and the Foundation goes hand in hand, to be honest. Yeah. It's because that's a problem, right? It's because they don't see any SCP that's a child. Actually, no. Any child that's an SCP. I say it that way. They just don't see the child part anymore. They don't care about the child part. They always just see the fucking... They only care about it being an anomaly. They don't care about it being a child. Which is... It's just really fucked up. Because this child has no idea what's happening to them. They're not responsible for what's happening to them. Unless, of course, the SCP is built to look like a child, it's like made to look like a child, but it's actually a lot more. It's a lot more like sinister, like for example, all these like SCPs were like they were coldly discovered reincarnated into children, and then they were fully aware of what they were before, even as children. Then yes, then you can say like, okay, this guy is that one is clearly evil, and it's okay if you treat it differently. But this one is like she's clearly afraid. She has no idea what's going on. Like a very disturbing peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Yeah, I guess you can say that. It is fucked. I just feel bad for any child that like is genuinely scared or worried or confused, and the Foundation does not give them any like good explanation or any compromise. Like the parents are aware of her anomalous effects, so might as well just let the parents come to visit. I mean, okay, Alexis Baxter might be right. The parents might get in danger if they were aware of like the Foundation and the SCPs, and then if other groups of interest were to be aware of the parents being aware, they might be in high danger. Yeah, that's fair, but still, it's a bit much for a child to take care to handle, especially a 7-year-old.